As all of this unfolds, Spectrum News 1 watchdog reporter Megan Carpenter has been investigating how we got here. She obtained documents through a public records request in this exclusive report.
The documents I'm going to focus on date back to early January. They contain emails between the mayor's office, health officials, and MPS, including its now embattled former facilities director, Sean Kane. It all raises questions about the process taken after a student got lead poisoning. Just days ago, we learned from the state's Department of Safety and Professional Services that now former MPS Facilities Director Sean Kane had been working in that role with the district since 2021 without a valid architect registration. That's after the department reports it got a complaint about Kane's lapsed license last July. How was he able to work for years without an architecture license that was valid?
I can't speak to what happened before, but I can speak to what we are going to be doing moving forward with our HR processes and our HR department in order to improve processes moving forward.
Documents we obtained from the mayor's office and the Milwaukee Health Department show issues with Kane surrounding MPS lead abatement work date back to at least mid-January. In a series of emails, the health department's commissioner and deputy commissioner told Mayor Cavalier Johnson's office that they had 4 inspectors on standby the morning of January 11th to conduct a lead risk assessment of Golda Meir's lower campus, quote, to formally identify lead hazards and deteriorated lead surfaces. This is after health officials learned that a student got lead poisoning after eating chipped paint in the school's basement bathroom. The email then says, quote, however, MHD wasn't given entry by Sean Kane, senior director of MPS Facilities. A health department inspector did email Kane on January 10th requesting that access. Kane emailed back the morning of January 11th saying the building was closed. I asked Health Commissioner Mike Tortoritis on Thursday about all of this. Can you confirm that, first of all? And second of all, did that hinder progress for you in moving forward to actually assess the scope of this problem?
Yeah, so that from what again was reported to me at that time, that was what happened, that Director Kane did not allow us to go into the school and did not disclose that there was work that actually happened that weekend until the following Monday. So that delayed our entry into the school to do the full lead risk assessment, which was published on our website. And certainly delayed our ability to see other schools because we were primarily focusing on Golda Meir lower campus at the initial onset of this in January.
So when you found out that MPS was already doing its own lead remediation work without, it sounded like from those emails, without your approval in the process, what was your reaction to that?
I was frustrated. Our team was also ready to send a staff of, I think, about 8 individuals and lead risk assessors to go to the schools. We were ready to work that weekend.
The commissioner made that frustration clear to the mayor's office on January 13th. He said, quote, when there's a lead poisoned child, it is even more important that any mitigation or abatement work is done in coordination with MHD. As a result of this deviation from protocol by MPS, we were obligated to notify the state. We asked Wisconsin's Department of Health early last month if they were investigating MPS lead abatement work. The DHS then released a series of violations at 4 schools addressed to Sean Kane on March 19th. They include Fernwood, where DHS says, quote, a significant amount of paint chips and renovation debris were visible within arm's length of a child's desk. The report also said, quote, MPS allowed children back into the work areas at Fernwood to attend class on March 11th, 2025, while paint chip dust and debris from the previous night's work was present. When you saw the violations that came in from the state last month, I'm sure you've seen those about lead mitigation work within MPS buildings by MPS workers. What was your reaction to some of the more egregious ones?
I have been reading a lot the past 3 weeks about our operations within the district. There is work that we need to do, and my reaction is that we need to get ready to do it and roll up our sleeves and use every resource, and I really am grateful to the city for helping us with this one. And according to those emails, the health department inspectors were eventually given access to Golda Meir's lower campus to do that lead risk assessment on January 18th. Just a reminder, that is a week after the health department's original request. In the studio, Megan Carpenter, Spectrum News.